and thrown back in her face, and he's thrown it back in the whole community's face. Please share this far and wide. That was a lovely chat there with Mia, just a mother concerned for her 5 children. She's done her bit for Ireland, fair play to her. And yeah, so they're blocking the second roundabout down here near the Ibis Hotel, which is another little hub for a barracks, let's call it, for these military age males. As she said, that the residents who were there, who are apparently women and children, have all been moved out to different places around the country. But as you all know, my views on this refugee crisis, I was saying earlier, is that these wars are being deliberately created to create refugees, and to create a system where millions of people will leave the Middle East and Africa, and now it's in Ukraine. They don't care. And look at the common denominator here as well with Russia and Ukraine. Who's suffering the most over there now at the moment? It's young military men in the military over there, between 18 and 30, 40 years of age or whatever, who are being vaporized by missiles and artillery and bullets, and being killed by bullets. Young alpha males, let's call them. They're the main people suffering now in Russia. Thousands, tens of thousands of them have been killed now in this proxy war created by NATO and the US, as far as I'm concerned. And you can all do a little bit of research. It only takes a couple of moments and you will find the harsh truth. Look up John Mearsheimer, professor, an expert on all Eastern European affairs in America, in Chicago, one of the top people. He was an advisor to the American government, as far as I know. And yeah, it's very simple. He will give a balanced view of what's going on, and he will openly tell you how the American government have manipulated Ukraine, how there's so much corruption over there. There's businesses dodgy businesses been set up by so many politicians in America in Ukraine. Yeah, so anyway, let's see what's going on here.
This is another live
got stopped.
Live
getting,
protest in Ireland
very
by
irrational
Philip. He's been filmed by
and
Philip
dangerous
O'Dwyer.
behaviour with their cars.
If you're watching this on YouTube, go over there and give him a follow and a thumbs up. Oh, we seem to have lost sound.
It's like people here in Clondalkin are not to be trifled with either, folks, you know.
Yeah, he's right about Ukraine. It is one of the most
Thanks
corrupt
everybody for
countries
sharing that. 800
in the world.
on 23. Fair play.
President Lazinski has arrested all his political...
Come on out if you're nearby, folks.
How
are you?
People that are against him. He has them in political parties. He's arrested them all and they're in prison.
It's fantastic to see.
There's no democracy in Ukraine.
People are starting to get the message, aren't they?
He's used the war to
look, I mean, it's
take control.
The whole thing is the same
he
operation,
arrested all.
the
He
same
arrested
strategy,
all
the same policy. Bringing in
politicians
men
in
from
this
all over
country
the
that
world nobody knows about, mainly Middle East and
sing
Africa.
the same tunes.
Where's
So
this
we
guy
say.
going?
Like he's totally corrupt.
You all right there, love?
So this demonstration is up in Dublin, Dublin, I think. It's about the Irish government moved 200 people into a building that wasn't fit for purpose. Wasn't designed for long-term occupation.
Well, fair play to you. Okay.
Basically
People
old
are on
and
the
manky.
move again, folks.
Not a brand new, hotel at all.
Oh, Anto, there you are.
Stay on the roundabout.
Alright, folks, how are you, Tony? Alright. Yeah, sorry, Anto. Do you want to say a few words now on the camera? Hang on a second, folks. A little bit of a mishap, but what can you do? Live TV, huh? Sorry, we won't mention the TV, will we?
We walk up through the village.
I don't know, this has got nothing to do with me, guys. You decide what you want to do. I'm here to support you.
There we go.
What's going on now?
There's the bus.
Huh? Who's this fella? Go. Yeah. There's always one, as the people say, huh? There's always one, but sure.
There's always
What
one.
can you do? Are we on the move, folks? Are we on the move? Sorry, where's Tony?
I tried catching this this from the beginning, but
Tony, do you want to say hello to the
unfortunately,
camera? Give me your hand, shake hands. This
YouTube is fucking
Anto,
these kind
is
of
it?
videos around,
Anto,
you know what I mean?
good
YouTube
luck
doesn't
your
want
sign,
you to
Anto.
see this sort of stuff.
Why are these men destroying their passports?
So I didn't get any
That's what they're doing. They're
notification.
getting onto flights, Anto, and it's taking the mick, basically.
So if you do follow
What you call? Let me get this.
Philip O'Dwyer, make sure you put on the notifications so you get to see this stuff from the beginning.
Yeah, so Anto, that's why you're out. You're aware of what's been happening over the last while, and you're seeing all the other stuff that's going on around the country. So fair play to you.
No, I'm very much aware of what's been going on. And the gas thing about it is a lot of people don't remember, but I remember when this so-called war over in Ukraine kicked off.
Yeah.
The Irish government, in the space of that day, could drop the COVID travel cert.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
just in the blink of an eye, they could drop it. You know.
They couldn't go anywhere for a start, so and then these people can come in and just
Yeah.
no checks, no nothing. They can do
No,
do
nothing.
whatever they want.
Unvetted,
Yeah,
and this is the big thing, you know. I'm not being funny. I done volunteer up in the local GAA for years. I did around towers,
Yeah,
and in order for myself to work with them kids,
Yeah.
my son was on that team,
yeah,
and I had to get Garda vetted to do that.
yeah.
But within yards of this local GAA community, it's just there's not one thing you can turn around and say, yeah, you can understand that's why they've done it. It just stinks of wrongness, you know.
Absolutely. What's your thoughts on being labelled now by the government about this? Just because you want to speak out and you want to disagree with what's happening, and the media, the government are trying to label these honest to goodness Irish hard-working people as far-right fascists. What do you reckon?
It's another disgrace, it is.
How are you
For,
feeling?
for these people to turn around and label us what they're labeling us
Yeah.
without even knowing us personally,
Yeah.
without knowing their reasons for being here.
Yeah.
This is my reason for being here. This and the unvetted is my reason for being here.
Exactly.
These local politicians were elected for us to represent us, and they are not representing us. They're blatant shitting all over us. Any of them tries to contact the local politicians, they're getting blocked off their social media pages.
Yeah.
It's just
Anto, what do you think? Do you think any of these politicians who are labelling you there have any of these so-called refugees in their houses?
But we all seen what happened out in Balls Bridge, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know,
Court case.
if you're from Balls Bridge, you can turn around and say these people won't fit into our society, and you know, they just take the money out, and because they don't have money and they had connections,
Yeah.
they're not racist.
No.
You know, none of us are saying we don't want these people. They won't fit there, yo. It's the unvetted, and it's just not safe.
Yeah. It's another level of
it's
the
for the
corruption
kids,
that we're living
really.
under.
It's
you
just,
know.
yeah.
There's
And
one
like,
thing
look,
you don't
know,
do in Ireland is
as I
mess with
says,
the
we're
kids.
We'll try,
That's a
try
big
to
fucking
contact local
no-no.
politicians. And
Irish
you can't get an
government, you
answer out
have
of any of them.
fucked up.
Tia said they can't, and she went and she said she helped with the campaign for Gina O'Kenny around here, and now look at her. She's been called a far-right racist by him. That's the thanks she got, like for working for the community, or thought she was working for the community.
Yeah, but I'm the same. Like, I'm like the gentleman the other night that had approached Gino and said it to him. He said, you know, I gave you my vote.
Stick it up your arse.
Yeah,
she said,
I gave Gino my vote.
yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
He won't be getting it again.
This is the thanks.
Yeah, and like I seen he was out canvassing then on the Saturday in Lucan, you know.
Yeah.
And I did see one lady put it up on his page. She says, oh, I thought you don't want the vote. And he turns around and he's like, I don't want his vote. So is he saying that he doesn't want the vote of every concerned parent?
Exactly.
Because this is the thing. I have kids. My kids go to school in this village,
Yeah.
in this very village.
Yeah.
And it's just not good, you know.
No. It's a real worry.
It's not safe.
No.
I've friends from up around this village, and even some of them have said it.
Yeah.
They said that these young men, they're ganging up in groups
Yeah.
and they're intimidating people
Absolutely.
already.
Absolutely. And we know, like, people might
Yeah,
say, oh
mums
yeah,
and
there's
dads
not many
needs-
here and everything else.
needs
There's
to come
plenty
together
here. But we
and
know the real
walk their
reason why
children to
people
school
are,
to make
they
sure they're
have the
safe.
fear of God put into people not to attend these things because they will try and think they'll be cancelled or they'll think they'll be demonised. Their jobs might be at risk. Leo Varadkar said on the radio there recently that if you're a nationalist, you lose your job and your home, and nobody questioned them on that in the media. So this is what they.
You can't love your country
and
anymore.
they're going to figure it out eventually. People are going to have the guts to come out eventually and not worry about being called a name or being cancelled or demonised. You're going to have to do it for your kids, folks.
Yeah. And there's no point in doing it when something ends up happening saying, I knew I should have.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that you should have. That's why we're doing it now.
And you're going to have to look your children in the eye in 10 or 20 years' time when the government when the government have allowed this country to be overrun and we're a minority in our country, and they'll be asking you, what was it like when Ireland was a majority Irish, Dad or Ma?
Yeah. It was a great country to live in.
Yeah.
One of the best in the world.
Yeah.
You even hear they broadcast themselves. Dublin is such a high rank city to be of the world. And now we'll see it. He's still saying that in 10 years' time.
Absolutely. Listen, Anto, thanks a million for talking to me. I'll see you again, right?
These are just hard-working people of Ireland, you know.
Here.
Oh, trouble.
This guy's after nearly knocking down someone.
I can understand the frustration in some of the cars. I mean, people are coming home from work, you know.
You sound okay, folks.
But,
Give us a
you
sound
know,
check there if you can. If you don't
This
mind.
if it works,
920 in the chat.
once it's peaceful,
Look, that's, great to talk to these
It has to be
people.
peaceful.
Just ordinary Irish, hard-working people, concerned, terrified for their.
the minute it goes violent, that's it.
second,
It's
even more.
it's over. It has to remain peaceful at all costs. Because the Irish press, the Irish government is just waiting for something to happen. And they'll pounce on it. And they'll use it as a weapon. A psychological weapon. Look what happened here tonight. All nationalists are Nazis, you
Yeah,
know?
you're out in the
That's
public
not true.
here, unfortunately. Give us
That's
your-
what the
give us your
Irish government and the Irish RTE want you to believe, but that's not true.
I'm late home from work. That's what's going on.
Yeah, like I said, people are going to be pissed, but you know, that's just the way it is.
It's going to happen whatever you say. It's going to happen whatever
Listen,
you
these
say.
people here aren't
That's
happy
true,
about
it will
being
happen
here
if you don't do
either. They
anything.
don't want to be here.
So why are they blocking traffic? Why
Because
are
they have to
blocking
highlight
people?
this. They have to
Why
highlight.
aren't they doing it outside the door then?
They will do it out. We will. We've tried it all.
It's the second time I've been held up
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, these people in that building are a danger to you, love.
They're trying to save you,
Then I
Mrs.
tell
Trying to
you
save the
something,
country.
I totally understand, but these people have a right to live as well.
They don't
They
want.
have a right,
They don't want to be here.
they have a right
No,
to
but they're
live.
undocumented. The problem is.
To
They
live
have-
where?
You know,
There's
they
nothing
have
for
a
them.
right to live.
There's nothing for the Irish, never mind anyone else.
Absolutely.
And come
We're
on in
barely
without
hanging out with our
documentation.
fingernails.
You have a right to
Are you
live.
okay with them turning up their documentation and coming into the country?
Well, how do you know they've no documentation? Were you
I've
at
asked
the
them-
airport?
I've asked- Yes, I was.
Were
yeah.
you at the airport?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was at the airport. You should check out my video at the airport. Anyway, look, she's a decent woman. She's probably just a bit angry because she can't get home. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, these people are, they're browned off because their needs haven't been met now to get home in time. But look, unfortunately, it's unfortunate to discommode people, but people have been left with no choice. This is the only choice we have. They were been just ignored.
Let them out.
And yeah.
Let them out.
Now, not real refugees. Send them home. And that's what needs to be done. These people, anybody who comes into this country illegally is a criminal. It's a criminal offence to come into this country illegally.
Well, it was.
To destroy your documents. Get on a plane and then destroy your documents. It's wrong, and falsify your information if you're coming into the country. So people are on the move again.
Again, this is all
This guy
live
is
from
getting a
Ireland
very
right
hey,
now.
Tony, this guy is getting very
Somewhere in
aggressive now
Dublin,
his car.
Dunglaughlin, I think. Not 100% sure.
You're in.
Yeah, Clondalkin. Against people trafficking. SIAC building, which wasn't fit for the purpose they're using it for, which is dangerous in itself. What happened if there was ever a fire in it or something like that? Is it up to code? Probably not.
Right, you want to try and calm that lady down. She's a bit agitated there in her car. She might do damage. Look at her. She nearly knocked down the guard. She nearly knocked down the sergeant. Look. I tried to warn him. I tried to warn him just to try and calm her down. She's getting very agitated. And when you're in a car and you're agitated, it's not good.
And in that group, there's children as well.
Oh,
You
these
know
are
what
the
I mean?
people, look.
So these people need to relax. And they need
Yeah.
to wake up.
Far right, as they say in Foxrock.
All right,
don't
you're
have
late.
any of
A
these
couple of
centres.
about 20 minutes coming
Yeah.
home from work.
The sergeant is having a
At the
little
end
word
of the
with her
day, is
there
that a
now.
big thing? What happens when you don't have a job? What happens when cheap labour
Okay,
comes in and
someone's
you
trying
don't
to
have a
ring me there. I
job
wonder if
anymore?
there's something
Will
wrong,
you be
folks.
coming home from work angry then? No, you won't.
As I said, I'll call you back later. If you're ringing me, if there's something wrong, I can't answer that.
The same with all the hotels that have been taken over. Where are the
5 by
tourists
5, okay.
going to go this summer?
Sorry, Emerald, if you're listening.
First
There's the
decent
great
summer.
Herman Kelly, huh?
After the China flu.
Great to see you.
Where
great
is-
to see you, Herman, getting out and about. Great to see leaders of parties getting out, huh? Where you? Go on, tell us. Hang on, folks. Herman Kelly. The Irish Freedom Party. Go on, I'll give you
Irish
a plug,
Freedom
Herman.
Party,
Go on.
yeah.
Very good, you're very good.
Even
Very kind,
though you're not as good as Ireland first, but sure, look, we're all fighting the same battle.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway,
And we're registered.
well, I have to say, look, I get it out of the way. Well done. You're going out.
I tell you what,
You're going out there copying myself and Derek, and you're getting loads of traction, and it's
very
good,
Yeah,
and
good.
it is actually
It
big.
is very good.
And I'm
Derek,
delighted
copy
to see
that
it.
off you. Yes, there we go. There we go. There's one for you too.
And
I tell you what,
look,
I was up
it's
and
all
done
Yeah,
doing good.
we're all
It's
doing the same
doing
thing.
good.
We're all fighting for
Yeah.
the good of Ireland.
The Sinn Féin is, as we all know,
Yeah, nothing I can do about this, I'm afraid, boys and girls. It's all down to the poor guy is just doing it on his iPhone, you know what I mean? And and it could be a
as
case
the
of
nationalist people,
YouTube fucking around with the signal,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. a lot of people still believe mistakenly that Sinn Féin, along with left-wing parties, are anti-colonisation because they're against the colonisation of countries in Africa and countries
Yeah.
in Asia.
Yeah, but not Ireland.
For some incredible reason, they're in
Yeah.
favour of colonisation
Uh-huh.
of Ireland. They seem pretty happy with that,
Yeah.
and that's and that's
Because
not good
they're
for us,
raking
is it?
in the
So
money.
I was putting the example: have
EU
too many-
grants.
Far too many people have been affected by anti-Irish racism. We
Yeah.
call it hibernophobia, hatred of Ireland. And if we can't finish the simple couplet,
I mean,
that
how can you hate
China
Ireland?
for the Chinese,
We've been the underdogs
India
since
for the Indians,
I was
and
born.
if we feel uncomfortable or slow to say an Ireland for the Irish, well, our minds have been infected by
Yeah.
this hibernophobia, Irish anti-racism,
Yeah.
and we have to get a message out there that we don't have the capacity, nor do we have any moral duty to house the world. Irish people should come first in Ireland. People, look, a very simple question, right? A very simple question is, well, yours is better than mine, that, well, question number one is why should an older Irish person who has worked in Ireland, contributed all their life, why should they be in the same line or not be given priority over someone who's basically landed in a plane, lost their passport
internet
on the
is
way to the
struggling,
chaos,
boys and girls.
and then they get free medical aid, free medical help, and they're in the same line as an Irish person whose family have contributed to the building up of Ireland all for generations, and they have worked all their life. It's just completely unfair.
It's nothing to do with compassion. It's nothing to do with whether our government care about these people who are supposed to be fleeing war and trauma. It's about an agenda that you know and I know.
Yeah.
A UN, an EU, World Economic Forum agenda, probably cheap labour, demographics and votes. And then there's speculation that some of these guys are coming in here as military agents who are going to be used in the militia to keep the people under control. But sure, look.
Yeah, you know what? We have to make the point very clear. We shouldn't get sucked into this false idea that it's all about refugees or asylum seekers. And as we know, many of these asylum seekers, the idea that 40% of them lost their passport between getting on the plane and landing in Dublin is a complete lie. As Michael McDowell said there in 2005, they're basically cock and bull stories, and we know it. And they're here as economic migrants to milk our country dry. But do not get sucked into this idea.
Well,
It's
bad
about
news for you,
refugees and
economic
asylum
migrants.
seekers.
We
The
don't
vast
have a whole
majority of
lot.
people who come into Ireland come in as economic
You ain't going to
migrants
get much.
for EU
'Cause
open
one
borders.
thing you can
So
say
it's not
about
asylum
Irish
seekers,
politicians,
it's not
they are
about
corrupt as
refugees.
the day is long,
Corporations who benefit
and they
from this.
gobble up
Yeah,
the money.
It's the big corporations. They want cheap labour. All they want is a denaturized, like a people without a culture,
Economic units.
of consumers and producers who are on this wet rock in the Atlantic called Ireland. They don't have any feeling, any attachment to it. They are globalists who simply want cheap labour. And do you know what? That's Irish people are made for better, and Ireland is made for better than that.
Here, here. That's Herman Kelly, folks, the Irish Freedom Party. Never let it be said that Ireland first. We're happy to talk to all these parties. We've nothing against the IFP, we've nothing against the National Party, and we're all fighting the same end.
All
We all
good
believe in the
parties,
same thing.
all fighting
Ireland
the
belongs
same
to the
thing.
Irish.
Irish
Yeah.
belongs to Irish, and you're doing Derek is doing a great job down in Fermoy. Fair play.
Well done,
Really-
and great to see you doing your bit now as well, Herman. And that thing with refugee going after these places is doing really well, and it's effective.
I learned off the best fellow.
There you go, compliment from Herman, and it just goes to show, folks. Hang on. We don't have to agree on everything about Ireland, but we know we're Irish. We love Ireland, and we know Ireland belongs to the Irish people. We know that this is partly the great replacement, and you know, Ireland First is a nationalist party, and what I'd say to people, Derek Blythe set up Ireland First, and you only have to look at Derek's energy, and that's what's the difference is going to be. The energy that goes into Ireland First will be off the charts compared to these other nationalist parties who are actually doing their own thing and doing it their way, and we don't regard them. They're not our enemies. We're not their enemies. We're all out to help Ireland and make Ireland a better place for the Irish, not for
here,
anybody
here,
else.
man. Well done.
So that's the end of my political rant there anyway. So
Yeah.
let's see what's going on. We're back on
No,
the
I
other
agree with him.
roundabout here outside SIAC. You know, like I said, what's going on here now?
Most of the people stuck in traffic are actually for it. Are
make
actually
sure.
for this.
And they're allowed off the airplane. No
There's a
passport.
man being held up in traffic and supporting the march. Fair play to you. There you go. Held up for half an hour, 40 minutes, God knows how long, and he still supports what's going on.
Is it too much to be
Which is a
asked to
great
be
thing to
held
say.
up
It's
for like
inspiring.
20, 40 minutes? I don't think it is. Especially if the word spreads. We need to see more peaceful demonstrations.
Few tunes coming out there now as well. Well done, ladies. Like I said, folks, nobody wants to be here. We shouldn't have to be here. This building here, this SIAC building in Clondalkin is being used to house at least 200, according to Mia, military-age males. And a huge threat. They're let out in the day to wander around the place Let's see the crime figures. Let's see the sexual assault figures. She's already said there's antisocial behaviour going on in the
Well, it's
antisocial
not surprising.
behaviour
There's
going on
nothing there
in
for
the,
them. It's just a
in
building in the
village.
middle of
She's
more
got a couple of
buildings.
pubs.
There's no infrastructure. There's no
And look,
school
it's
for them.
unfortunate, like I said,
There's no job
none
place
of
for
us
them.
want to be here. I'd love to be at home, chillaxing, you know, in front of the fire or whatever, watching the old.
Looks like there's just a
whatever,
few homes
watching a
around them,
movie or
and that's
something.
it. So what
It's
are
a
they meant to
cold
do?
January evening.
There's no
These
place for
people
them.
are prepared.
No, we just
Let's get
don't
this
have
sign
the
in,
place.
girls. Illegal
madness.
immigrants have more rights than the Irish homeless. No, like, and that's just the bare truth of it. That's why the government hate us, because they hate the Irish people, and they hate people like us because we're just trying to put the truth out there. That's all. Simple as. Nothing complicated about it. Fair play to you, young lady.
Chap over here, Philip, wants to have a chat with you.
Yeah, where is he?
Just keep it off camera, yeah?
Yeah, I'll keep him off. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Me, Phil.
How are you getting on?
All good, all good.
Right. Do you want to give your name or your first name or whatever?
Yeah, I'm Ed.
Right, Ed wants to speak to me here. Ed, what has you here tonight?
Well, I came here on Thursday,
Yeah.
but I done a stupid thing and I came here in my work jacket.
Right. Okay.
So after the protest, went home, got up for Friday morning, got a phone call from my boss at 8:15.
Right.
Gino Kenny had been on to my boss.
Okay. Did you hear that, folks? Gino Kenny now has rang a man's company here because he saw the logo on his work gear. Go ahead.
And after my boss rang me up, didn't really give it out to me, but
Yeah.
advised me if I'm going to be doing anything like that, not to be
Wearing the
wearing the
uniform.
work gear.
Okay.
But it could have worked out a lot worse. I could have lost my job over it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is how insidious that these. This is your local TD, right? That is
Who
doxing
we
you.
voted for?
Cowardly
Who
little
we
bastard.
voted for?
Huh?
I would
TD.
regard this as an act of war against a man trying to take a man's livelihood away from him, who has to put a roof over his head, possibly feed his family. I don't know his personal circumstances. But Gino Kenny,
On the head.
you have a man here, and I'm sure he'd be willing to testify. He's actually afraid to have his face on camera now because of what Gino Kenny has done. And this is what the what you could call communist Stasi.
People.
Yeah.
Profit before people.
Communist Stasi. And these are the people actually would violently attack you as well. I'd say a lot of these people, I'd love to know who took down my posters during the general election. All of that kind of thing. These people got together and said, no, we're not allowed to have a say. Now this man, what's your first name again?
Ed.
Ed. His boss has been contacted by Gino Kenny to try and get him to lose his livelihood and get him sacked from his job because he's standing up for his community and he disagrees with Kenny's views. Ed,
That's true. 100%.
thank you very much for talking and letting the people know about this.
Thanks for coming.
No bother, Ed. Thanks a mil. And in fairness to Ed, it hasn't deterred him. And if his boss is listening to this, you will be an utter disgrace. And I can tell you now, if I find out
I
that
don't
that
think
man
his boss-
loses his job,
I think his boss
because of
handled
a
that
phone
well.
call from an absolute mentally ill
Yeah.
ex-drug
I think the
addict,
boss,
as far as I remember.
maybe the boss should have
Um,
told him to fuck off.
And he's a criminal, as far as I'm concerned. To ring up somebody's boss like
Yeah.
that is
Now that I think about
absolute
it.
disgusting,
Yeah.
sickening thing
The
to
boss
do.
should have told
And
him,
in my
"Fuck
view,
off
it's
on
an
your
act of
bike."
war against somebody. It's an act of war. But anyway,
Like he said, the
Very,
Stasi,
very
the
annoying.
secret German police.
so
For fuck's sake.
I have no doubt that. Yeah,
Will I see?
hang on. Say hello to this lady here.
Hi, Philip.
Ballsbridge, Blackrock, Foxrock. What's your name?
Linda.
Linda. What has motivated you to come out here tonight, Linda?
I'm born and raised in Clondalkin,
Yeah.
and that are being brought in. Sorry, I'm sick of all the immigrants being brought in. I have no
Illegal ones.
illegal. I've no problem. No, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Ukrainian women and children, but I am disgusted that they've been moved out of the Ibis Hotel when the children had settled into the area, and they've been moved to allow more unvetted, undocumented men coming in. And what I'd like to know is, why are they ripping up their papers at the airport? We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know who they are. We don't know what their agenda is here. And personally, I don't feel safe as a resident of Clondalkin Village.
Yeah, they're going to
What
have to
about
come
medical
together
appointments and school places? Well,
and arrange
It doesn't affect me.
a parent
But
a
medical
parent bus
appointments, yes,
service
I'm
or
waiting in
something
Tala Hospital
where
for
parents
6 years
pick
now at
up
the moment
a
for an
group of kids
orthopedic
each
surgeon.
and
6 years
bury
in
them
Tala
home and
Hospital,
back
and
again.
when you bring in 200,000, well, possibly 150,000 new PPS numbers were handed out, and 150,000 onto the health system, extra pressure. It's breaking point at this stage.
It is indeed. And also, as my sign says,
that's what they want,
why is
isn't
it
it?
all the
want
working
to
class
break the
areas?
country.
Why aren't they in Foxrock, Blackrock,
Like
Ballsbridge?
I
Why
said,
was the
summertime
turn
will
down
be
in
bad
Ballsbridge
because where are the
when they were
tourists
meant
going to
put them
say?
in? Why was that turned down?
Gonna
We're
go,
like,
huh?
basically, excuse the expression, shit on their shoes, on the government shoes. They don't
You
care
know,
about
where
us.
Exactly,
we depend,
and
we depend on tourists during the summer
Yeah,
to come
and-
to
and-
Ireland. Where are they going to stay?
Linda, what this is doing now, they hate to see ordinary Irish, hard-working, honest-to-goodness people come out and speak and show dissent. It's scaring the living daylights out of it, and all they have, and when we know we're winning when they start just calling your name. They lose the argument.
Exactly, and I'd also like to say last Thursday, unfortunately, I wasn't here because I have a back injury. Gina Kenny TD arrived here last Thursday with a load of his so-called cronies, with banners saying "Refugees welcome." Well, obviously we've hurt them because they didn't turn up tonight.
Oh, absolutely,
'cause
absolutely.
there
And
were-
I'm only raging, Kenny.
was only
that
a
you
few-
didn't
there was
show
only
up
a handful
because
of
I would
them.
have a lot of questions for you. And
I guess
and
the
expose
EU
you for
paycheck
what you
didn't
are.
come
We had a
through.
man that called Ed. A guy called Ed said he rang his company because he saw the logo on his shirt, Linda. Trying to
Exactly.
get him sacked. That's the level now of discourse we're at. And if Sippo are listening, there she is. Somebody being held up, supporting us. So, guys, yeah. So if Sippo, if you're listening, that a sitting TD can ring somebody's company because they disagree with what their policies or their beliefs are, he wants to get them to lose their livelihoods and their job. That is disgusting behaviour. So now,
You don't want it?
not yet. No, I don't know her. But sure, look, if she wants to chat, we'll chat. Yeah, yeah. No bother. Delighted to be here. It's always a privilege to witness genuine, honest to goodness Irish people standing up against the tyranny that they've been exposed to, their women and their children, and our system. Make no mistake, folks, this is a plan. Go back to the Kildare. It's been in the planning for a long time. Go back to the Kildare plan, where they want to change the whole ethnic structure of Europe and flood it with people from Middle East and Africa, regardless of who they are. How are you? How are you getting
Yeah,
on?
because we
Well,
really need them
great
problems
to see you
over
come
here. Jesus Christ, we have enough of
And,
our own problems.
Yeah, that's it. It's nothing to do with compassion for refugees. As I said, none of these TDs, the Gino Kennys of this world, none of them will have any of these refugees staying in their houses, in their big houses with their big salaries that they could well afford to bring in. They don't have them. It just doesn't exist. And that's enough to tell you that they don't really care. They're playing on your emotions, and they're playing on your good nature. That's it. They're using a psychological war against you. And the sooner the people get informed about this, the sooner it's exposed, the better. And let's see what this anger will be from the public, this righteous anger. There we go. Look, there's the guys in the bin lorry, held up, all held up, and still supporting what's going on. And it's important. How are you, Bernie? Bridget. Sorry. Yeah. So that's Bridget. She was in.
Now, if you want to
Cookstown
see this
with us
live,
last
boys
week.
and girls, head over to Philip
Brave,
Dreyer
not a
on
bother,
YouTube.
tackling and
And
speaking our mind
give
and
him-
telling people
Give him a follow, give
you
him a
know,
like.
the truth about what's going on and
So
standing
you
up
can catch
strong.
this live from the beginning. I missed the beginning of
So, yeah. Yeah, frightening times ahead, huh?
it. YouTube didn't send me out any notification or anything.
Yeah, the people have decided to let traffic through anyway.
Because
for
they
the
don't
time
want
being.
this. They don't want you to
And,
know that there's demonstrations happening all across Ireland.
Yeah.
Hell, the
Honest
head
to
broadcaster in Ireland doesn't want you to
hardworking
know. RTE
Irish
won't show
people
this
out
on
in the cold.
television at all.
A cold
As far as
country,
RTE is concerned, this doesn't exist. It's nuts. It's nuts when you look at this, see what's really
Look
going
at
on,
his
and then
red
you see
guys.
you turn on RTE and it's
Dangerous
all bloody
driving.
lies. It's all pro government. That's because the sad thing is RTE is in the pocket of the Irish government. It's bought and paid for, and the Irish government is in the pocket of the EU. It's bought and paid for, and the EU is in the pocket of the World Economic
Imagine
Forum.
somebody, was it Mia said that
Follow the
the
money.
local sergeant. This is the
That's how
level
simple
like
it
the
is.
Gardaí now have
Follow
gone
the
to,
money.
In my opinion, I have, you know, I've had so much experience of them now in the last 3 years, and it's horrendous. It's how malleable they are, how willing they are to just disregard the laws and the constitution of the country. But to tell a woman that if we do a protest here and somebody in a car hits you, it's a civil matter, it's nothing to do with the Gardaí. Utter nonsense. Just another thing to try and like a political motivated statement, in my view, to try and stop them, to try and scare them into protesting at a roundabout, you know. And these people have put themselves in harm's way. One or two of them have probably been practically nearly knocked down by aggressive drivers, you know. So guys, thanks to everyone in the chat sharing it. It's great. We have to get the message out to the public, to the general ordinary person on the street who's not aware of the scale of what's happening to their country, the demographic changes that are going to happen. Over 150,000 PPS numbers given out to non-Irish people. That is replacement migration, folks. It won't take long at that rate for us to become a minority in the country.
But that's what's going on. That's what the Irish government said they want, and they were so
Totally.
proud of it.
Well done.
They were so proud of it when they announced. Like it's something to be proud of, to be hurting your own people.
I hope that poor lady now, I hope nothing bad happens to her because of these people.
They don't. The EU don't want sovereignty of any country anymore.
How are we getting on?
They want a super state
How are you? Do
in
you
which
want to
the
say
EU
hello
is
to the
in
camera?
charge.
Yeah, I'm just looking for I just want to look for
Take your time, take your time.
the homeless in Ireland. Why is there such a problem in Ireland?
Hang on a second, we get you on. Tell me your name first.
My name is Anna Harvey. I came out here. Actually, it came all the way down from Armagh, and we got a message. And they're talking about Drew Harris says people in Ireland at the campaigns that are the past few weeks about the migrants in Ireland. I was telling Dee that in South Africa, the Africans in South Africa ran them out of their own country 3 months ago. Okay. And he says that they're taking, that you haven't got enough to go around. They're coming in with fake passports, fake identity, fake permits for jobs. It's not even their name. But anyway, I was looking at this. What you call it? In 2012, on the 6th of November, Enda Kenny cuts the rent supplement, forcing thousands to become homeless. Yeah. On the 2nd of December 2014, Kenny, raising the rent supplement, said it won't solve the homeless problem. Getting the number of rough sleepers off the streets would be very difficult to get it down to zero. What he did, he ruled out increasing rent supplement to help some families avoid homelessness who are desperate. That these people that he wouldn't rent he wouldn't or lower the rent cap, right? Or the landlords wouldn't lower the rent cap, and thousands were forced out on the streets. Now, what end again Kenny didn't tell the people that these people that was begging for his help were orphans, and they grew up as orphans, and they had nowhere to go to with their children. And these men and women, right, their children was took off them. The government didn't tell the people this. And when they brought the the men and women were fighting to get to see their children. They were put into care. They never got to see their children. There was killings outside the courts. One man nearly went to pull one of the judge. It was documented all over the place, going back then. But anyway,
I mean, it's well documented now, like TUSLA and these organisations, how they've been treating families in the last number, since it started, since it was set up.
This album is great.
Their track record is
Fair
absolutely
juice for it.
abysmal. And
Fair juice for it.
again, it is
To
these
make-
high rents
take
and property
notes.
won't help this.
there's
That's brilliant.
there's another man at the end. I'll get to him in a minute. But he's from the Islam community, and he says, "Where's the? I don't see Ireland putting up the Irish tent and saying taking in or helping anybody." For him, I have a message, because in 2000. In 2002, 2,000 Polish workers were took into the country. In 2011, there was 120 Polish in the country by the census of 2011. 120,000 Polish, and then they brought in their wives and their children. And
I like the
by
Polish.
March
The Polish are nice people.
2012, there were 766.
I've worked with a good few Polish people.
0.77
They love their
770
they love their family.
of Polish men, women and children. From the Lithuanian and Latvian communities, there were 76,500. Romanians were taken in. The Romanians that was took in, it was an estimate of 9,429 people.
Romanians
and
are
other
very
people from every
standoffish.
corner of the world, from
don't mix that
196 nationalities, came to 544,400. This is on Google. This is not. This is
We don't
not,
mind you coming
false
over. but
information.
You gotta have a bit of fun.
It's replacement migration.
Well,
And
it's
they're
the crack,
wondering
as
why
they say.
the Irish haven't got a house. Now, my cousin is 22 years on the list with 2 grown children. I know neighbours that have 3 and 4 generations living in their house. They are not able to, the people, they can get houses if you have the money to pay it, but they haven't got the money to pay. So therefore they're put down to, every time they go,
She's trying so hard to get her
every time
point
Danielle
across.
comes up to get a house, they take in more foreigners, right?
Just
And
means
that's all
none-
we
none-
have to
None of
do
the
is
Irish
try.
will get houses. It's basically as simple as
Yeah.
that.
But now RTE is running us down, right? But what RTE doesn't tell the people, right, that they pay 30.19 million to Pepe Orsini. They're registered to Dun and Bradstreet, and they pay a dividend to the Khazarian mafia. RTE News. This is all documented, and I have the proof.
Yeah, like well said. What's your first name again?
Anna Harvey.
Anna Harvey. She's done her homework here. She's taken her notes,
Yeah.
and she's bashing out
Yeah,
truth bombs.
because they says that what we're saying, I'm stating facts.
Yeah.
That is all facts.
Anna, where are you from originally?
I was born in Bluebell in Jakar, and I live in Coolock.
Born down the road there, just down the road, 5
I
minutes down
came
the
all
road
the
of
way
Bluebell.
from County Armagh
Fair
to
play to you.
today,
Fair play.
because I was told I was doing other things, and I was told about this. I was asked would I come down.
And have you been long awake to what's been going on with your government and announcing?
35 years.
35 years, she's been wide to what's
And,
going on.
Fair
I,
dues
was
to her.
I used to work for the government, and I was forced out because I became a whistleblower. And my children, I brought my kids up to tell the truth, and RTE is not telling the truth.
No, they're not.
RTE
RTE is not telling the
Enterprises
truth.
pays 19.59 million, and their handlers is Geraldine O'Leary and Ian Keogh. Richard Collins, the secretary, and Paula Maluli. Now, Drew Harris, right? Drew Harris, on the RTE News there the other night, they stated that the migrant protests, we're not protesting, we're campaigning for our rights and the rights of our children. And it's not agenda, this is facts. We don't have a sinister agenda.
Yeah, unlike
but
the
the
government.
individuals in the background have a more sinister
Well
agenda.
done, Mrs.
RTE said. And they're the ones that's paying the Khazarian mafia for hush money.
And if
They're working for the Khazarian
and
mafia.
if RTE haven't got a
He's
sinister
brilliant.
agenda with Rory Coveney, he's the
I want
head of
her the next
strategy,
government.
and he's the brother of Simon Coveney, who was over with the Bilderbergs back in 2014 with Peter Sutherland, who was one of the main people, ex-Goldman Sachs, one of the main people pushing this mass migration from Middle East and Africa into Europe. Anna, listen, you've done great stuff. Thank you very
Not
much
a
for
bother.
speaking to me.
Not a bother.
And,
Well, everybody
keep
needs
up the
to come
good
out
work.
and stand together.
Absolutely.
Stand together.
Everybody, that's it. All the communities, guys, have to come out and do this. Hope the sound is okay there, guys. All the communities have to start now. The men of these communities, protect your women and children from this immediate danger. This is a clear and present danger now with these people.
Yeah,
cannot
even
let
if you
your
can't
kids
get
go
out
on the
the
street
street
now.
and
Years
protest,
ago, we used to be able
share
to go
these
out,
videos.
play in the streets all day. You're called in for your dinner.
Sign up for
and that's the only
Philip
time,
Dreyer on YouTube.
You'd need to be
Share
looked
his
after.
videos.
You'd look after ourselves out on the streets. We'd all play together and everything else. Not anymore, folks. Not anymore. When you have all these strangers walking around, you would be crazy to let your kids out unaccompanied now.
Yeah, they're
And
going to have
that's
to
the
start a
tragedy of it
bus,
all. The innocence.
a
People
bus
could
service,
go about their business.
a
Children could
taxi
come out and
service,
play and
a
wander
parent
around
taxi
and
service
meet other friends
to
in
pick up
different
kids
areas.
and stuff.
And not anymore. These
200
areas have to be
unvetted
decimated.
men
Anybody who
just
who
landed in
disagrees
your
with that,
community.
your head is buried in the sand, unfortunately. And we just hope to God that nothing bad or nothing sinister happens to any of your family members because of this. So all the people now are still here gathered, and I hope you can see that. And this is what it's all about. Just be civilized and be civil disobedience. Just say no to this.
Yeah.
That's all.
Be
The only reason it's happening is
peaceful.
because of the compliance, folks. You're going along with it. You're just letting it happen.
It only takes
And all you have
one
to do is
idiot.
come out and let
Be
your voice be
peaceful
heard.
at all times, no
These
matter
people
what
in
anyone
government are
says
running
to you.
scared. They're throwing
Be
out
peaceful.
prosecutions and summonses to people like myself over nonsense. You know, you say anything bad, there you go. There you go. So look, there is great support out there. The Irish people are getting it now, thank God. And it's just now you have to get out now and show them physically. The time
And if
to
you
be on
can't
your
get out,
keyboards is over.
share the
James
video,
Collins said in
share
couple of his podcasts
Philip
as well.
O'Dwyer. Share
The
his
time for
videos
just,
out there.
You know, making comments online, everything else. The
Spread
time now
them,
is to
spread
get
them
out.
all over the
Your
place.
local area,
Facebook,
find out who
Twitter,
your like-minded people are,
TikTok.
the people who are standing up against this. I see
Send
great
it out
support
there.
from the UK as well, and they all understand
The
over
people
there.
will come. The good
The
people
on
will
this channel in
come.
the UK. And thank you all very much. And we're all fighting the same enemy. They're doing the same thing to the UK as well. England, Scotland, Wales,
Yeah.
Northern
There's
Ireland.
demonstrations in England as well. It's great to see. Again, you won't see any of this on the
Wonderful
mainstream
stuff,
media.
guys, wonderful stuff. Over 1,000 people in the chat. That's amazing. And I hope the sound has been all right. Yeah. Yeah. Right, I think we're kind of pushing near to the end, folks. Just look at checking the time there, you know. And yeah, 5 to 7. And
Now, I didn't get the
know,
beginning of this, but just
this is a
head over to Philip O'Dwyer there
These are the
and
people
catch
who are
the
willing
whole
to get
video.
up and voice their concerns against all the psychological terror that is being threatened upon them with people like Drew Harris. You should be ashamed of yourself. And so should all the Gardaí who are going around taking instructions from this guy. You know, as I said before, the blue flu years ago, when you had problems with your pay, you were prepared to go out and do the blue flu. Get together, guards, and do something about this, because it's going to affect your families, your children, your daughters, your wives. You people are going to be affected as much as we are, and you guys have the power to get together. Get away from your associations. The Garda Representatives Association are absolutely infiltrated and corrupt. Going on with your diversity officers, get rid of them. 243 diversity officers. To do what? To go online and talk about and watch people who say mean things online. We should have
The
243
secret
serious
police.
crime officers investigating all the sexual assaults. Immigration officers getting rid of people who are coming into the country illegally. Not stupid diversity officers talking about people saying, disagreeing with whatever the government are doing. And that's all they are. That's all they're doing. There's some more great support there now off the road. Even though the traffic was held up for the evening, a lot of these people were discommoded, unfortunately. We don't want to have to do that. Nobody wants to have to do it. Here we go. There we go. Here we are now. Women and children are not safe. Yeah. Irish homeless dying on our streets. Ireland is full. Upside down. They're upside down, Tony. Stop the plantation of undocumented and unvetted men. Great signage now. 2020, 21, we needed vaccine passports to buy food. 22, 23, illegal immigrants enter Ireland without passports. Absolutely true. Illegal male immigrants are housed before the Irish homeless. Absolutely true. Listen to the horns. Listen to the cars beeping. Illegal male immigrants housed before 11,500 homeless people. Absolutely scandalous.
Jesus, 11
and
and a
this is all
half
truth bombs we're dropping here,
thousand
folks. Illegal immigrants have
homeless,
more
Irish
rights than the
homeless
Irish
at the moment.
Absolutely.
And it's
Scandalous,
fucking cold
it's
out
shameful.
there.
Because thanks for them truth bombs, Tony. Great science. And this is what we need more of. Absolutely more of. Everything in those signs is fact. If anyone wants to come along, the Gino Kennys, the disgraceful Gino Kennys of this country.
Here we go.
They're public representatives. Right, guys, time to leave it there. I'm drained, I'm exhausted. Thanks a million again to everybody who joined the stream and shared it. And I'll call out a few names. Curon, Satana Raj, Daza, B. Murphy, Shane Lynch, Fergus Power. Good old Ferg, good man, couldn't make it tonight, he's having a bit of bother. Yeah, and Reg again, if you're there listening, great supporter. I hope you're listening there. And the comments are flying in. Darley O'Neill, like my eyesight's brutal. Kevin, Daza, Graham, how you Graham? Graham Reid, yeah. Bob Busy Bollocks.
I forgot to put on the chat. Sorry.
D. Murphy again. Okay.
My apologies.
Lady Anfield, how are you doing? Okay. GOA, John O'Shea, Irish brother, come on. Listen guys, all the best again. I'm brutal at calling out them names, but it's very hard to see from a distance. And yeah, look, it's all about everybody getting out there and doing your bit. That's it. Everybody do their little bit. But
And
it's
if you
time
can't
to
get
up
out there,
off our arses
share the
and
videos.
start making this government
There's many
see
more people
that
out
they're
there
not gonna
like
win.
Philip Dreyer
They
doing
might
this.
think they have all the NGOs
Share the
on their side.
videos.
They might think they have all the finance and the money. They think they have the media on their side. They have the colleges all destroyed. But the problem is they don't have the truth. All they have is lies and deception. And as soon as the people
There
wake
he
up
is
to
there
that,
now.
it's all over.
Follow
Thank you,
that
folks.
guy, Philip O'Dryer. Philip Dreyer. There you go. Follow him on YouTube. And he's gone. But yeah, peaceful protesting live in Ireland. There you go. We'll leave it there. This is vid 2 for Ireland. That's what I'm going to call it. So if you're looking for this on YouTube, it's for Ireland vid 2. And share Philip Dreyer. Follow, share, and get out there. All right. Peace, adios, and have a good one.